Okay, so let's talk about flirting. So you asked me the question, how do I flirt? Because at this point, you have gotten over your approach anxiety. We coached you through that. You had insane approach anxiety. You know what's funny too is it's funny how we don't remember sometimes how bad our approach anxiety is. Like this happened to me when I was getting over it. It's like you remember when it first happens, like your approach anxiety is so bad and it's this big struggle, and then very slowly, inch by inch by inch, you start to get over it, and then you start to forget how bad it was because the progress is so slow, you know, so you forgot that there was this insane, terrifying feeling in your stomach every time you go and approach a woman. But now you don't have that, so now you ask me, how do I flirt? So to make this simple, consider this like a quick guide to flirting. So flirting is broken down into two parts, okay? Flirting is verbal flirting, and flirting is nonverbal flirting, okay? So nonverbal and verbal, okay? So basically what this means is that when you're talking to a woman, there's gonna be things that you're saying, verbal, that are gonna be flirting with her, which can help spike emotions, which then builds attraction. And there's things that you're gonna be doing with your body, nonverbal, that are also gonna help build a connection and also be flirting with her, okay? So let's go over the kind of more simple ones to work on. Not very simple necessarily to execute, but simple in the sense where it's very easy to understand. So nonverbal body language, the best thing you could do is give really good eye contact, okay? Really good eye contact. So eye contact is huge in terms of building a connection, and really piercing eye contact. So you're looking at her in the eye, you're not looking away, so she's gonna be able to tell that you are a very confident person. And she's gonna be able to tell that you're flirting with her. She's gonna be able to tell, okay, this guy is trying to connect with me right now, and this is not some sort of friendly interaction. And it's crazy, but this can all be done with the eyes. Now you got your body positioning. Something really simple to think about is when you're talking to a girl, you don't wanna be talking to her where your shoulder is to the side of her shoulder. Like imagine you guys are both in a movie theater and you're watching a movie, okay? So you're shoulder to shoulder, but you're not facing each other, okay? So it's that body language that you want to get rid of. Obviously, when you go and approach a girl, you're not going to be shoulder to shoulder in that sense. Instead, you want to be facing her like it's a mirror, like she's a mirror of you. The reason why this is important is because let's say you go over and approach a girl and you go in at this 45-degree angle, that's fine. But if you keep talking this 45-degree angle, she's going to be thinking, this guy's not really here to be talking to me. It seems like he has other things to do. This is a very passive conversation. No, this is not a passive conversation. She has to understand this is not passive. You are interested in her, interested in through eye contact and interested in the fact that you're going to be facing her. So you're going to be facing her. And again, you don't have to be so intense with it, like when you go up to her and you're like 3 inches away from her nose, although you actually might be sort of that close when you are approaching her in, let's say, a social setting, like a loud bar, a club, a party, or something like that. But the idea is you can go into the 45-degree angle if you want, but eventually you got to be, and pretty quickly within the first 30 seconds, you got to be shoulder to shoulder in the sense that you're mirroring her so she knows, okay, this guy's talking to me, we're here to form a connection, this guy's interested, we're flirting. Next part of flirting is you want to qualify her. Okay, you want to qualify her. So qualifying means that you are basically testing her to see if she is someone that you actually want to be talking to. This actually hits two things. One, it's going to help you with your non-negotiables so you even know if this is a girl that you want to be with. Right? So you might say like, so you're not like one of those girls who like orders out all the time, like never cooks, are you? Right? So maybe one of your non-negotiables is you want to be with a woman who knows how to cook. Maybe that's something that's important to you. Or whatever it is that's important to you, you're going to be quizzing her, testing her, aka qualifying her on what it is that you want in someone. And by the fact that you're doing this, you're challenging her. So this is flirting with her. This is also building tension, which builds attraction. Another way of flirting is withholding compliments. So people think that compliments are a really good thing. Guys think that compliments are a really good thing. Really what's happening when you compliment a girl is you're doing what every other guy is doing, and so you're not standing out, but also you're giving her all this validation. And women usually become attracted to a man by trying to seek validation from him. They're trying to get something from him. And the fact that you're not giving her that validation that is saying to her, okay, I want to chase this guy. I like this guy. It seems a little gamey, but this is just the rules of attraction. Like, this is just bottom line how it works. Is she's going to be chasing you for that. If you give her it all up front, it's like a cat, right? It's like a cat. So when you're playing with a cat and you're giving her so much attention, she's going to run away. But if you kind of stay away from her, she'll start to crawl next to you and start to come by you. Another form of flirting verbally is what's called push-pull. So push-pull, I talk about this a lot. I also talk about this in the effortless flirting module inside of Hooked. Push-pull is when you do say something that's a little bit like a tease, but then you pull her back in a way where you're not fully teasing her and trying to be a jerk, right? So here's an example. You're the coolest girl I've met in the last 5 minutes, right? So that's one line you could do. Like, let's say you guys are agreeing on a lot of different things. Like, you're like, oh, I like this too. You might be like, you know what, we just get along too well. I don't know. I just think that this is too good to be true. This is never going to work out. So you're just kind of like teasing and playing with this fact, this push and pull of like, okay, there's some good things about you guys, but there's also some bad things about you guys. There's some good things about her. There's not so good things about her. So it's this dance, right? So this is verbal dance, this flirt that's happening between the two of you. So the idea here is, because I gave you a lot to work with, you only want to pick one at a time to work on. If you're using way too much at once, it's going to be overwhelming. You're not going to be able to do it. So you got to pick one of these techniques and use that for, let's say, 10 to 15 approaches, get better at that, and then use another one. So you're trying to master all the different types of ways of flirting, so eventually you get better at it instead of trying to overwhelm yourself by doing everything at once.